Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Time for a fact that makes your brain just go. And I found this, blowing my mind a little bit because 9 of the 10 top college degrees are the most lucrative degrees. And they're all in the same kind of field, I guess. When I use the word, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's not the medical field, so a lot of people guessing that. It must be the medical field. It's not. So we'll go like this. Number 10, coming out of college, $66,000 a year if you have a finance degree, okay?
Okay.
Pretty good salary out of college, right?
Fresh out.
Fresh
yeah.
out.
I could see that.
And that's the average salary, too. So some people making more, some making less, but right around that range. The rest are all related to engineering.
Okay.
So if we go in, you've got general engineering at 8, mechanical engineering, industrial engineering, electrical engineering, aerospace engineering, computer science, chemical engineering, and number 1 is computer engineering, which is $80,000 a year. So they're all close, going up about 10 grand for the most part. But computer engineering is the number 1 salary out of college that you'll make if you're that.
My two guesses are going to be engineering which is kind of, I was going to say like a technological field of some sorts, but I suppose like a computer science would almost also fall in. So those computer ones would kind of fall into that.
Same with that. I don't know. I just thought it was wild when I saw that because it's not surprising necessarily. Maybe it's not a completely mind-blowing fact. But if you're in engineering, you're going to do pretty well no matter what you choose, what field in engineering.
Oh, my gosh. There's so many things to engineer.
That's the thing.
Everything needs to be engineered.
My brother-in-law is an engineer, and I don't know what he does, and I've asked him, hey, we're just kicking back with the beer. I got a lot of time here now. How about laying it out for me? Explain exactly like what your day's like.
Are you like building? Is he like building stuff?
He works for the Navy, so he's not in the Navy.
So he can't tell you. That's why you don't know.
He does have like this extra secure thing on his laptop, this encrypted code to go to his laptop, which I tried to watch him do one time, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an engineer.
I'm not super worried about you breaking the code to get on that laptop.
All of a sudden, I'm Nicolas Cage in National Treasure trying to
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you get it, what are you gonna do with it?
I just want to get in.
But then you're gonna launch a missile by accident.
I don't think the passcode is 1234, Brian.
It's his birthday, 69.
420.
420, bro. Yeah, I can't get in that damn laptop. He comes and stays with us all the time, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I want to go out there. I got to get in this laptop. I got to get in.
You put on some hacker sunglasses and go to work and never can get it.
The thing is, you would, even if you got in, like, you wouldn't understand what you were reading.
Nothing.
Do you it wouldn't resonate. It's not going to, it's not just like a notepad
Yeah.
that says where the missiles are.
It's like
10 missile locations.
It's like Facebook Farm Bill. Here's the missiles. Go over there.
Perfect.
All
Oh,
right.
let me go to the missiles tab real quick.
What's wrong?
Google Maps pops up.
I
Oh my
just
God,
wanna-
I'm 10 miles away.
Am I so wrong to just want to launch a missile?
Just one.
Just
Everybody gets one.
I can put it in the ocean. It's not going to hurt anybody. Well, some fish and a whale.
I think it could still affect some people.
Yeah, probably some whales. I like whales. I don't want to hurt any whales.
People fish there.
But I've let him try to sit and explain to me what he does. He said it several times, and it's never retained in my head, like what he does with he goes on Navy ships and he
Does he fix Navy ships?
He does. That's basically, let's just say he does that. Because I can't go beyond that.
He's a ship engineer.
He's a ship engineer.
Can you text him and see if he can explain it to you?
What's his title? Just let's get his title, and then we can all guess what that means.
I don't know what his title is.
But text him.
I'll text him.
I hope his title's missile launcher.
And I'm like, really? You couldn't figure that out? I hope he's not even an engineer and Brian's just wrong. He's like, I sail the ships. I told you 18 times. I'm a captain.
He's gonna text me back. He's a pirate. That's what he's gonna text back. I know. Jeez.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Okay, we're asking about your highlights of the weekend, and I promise we will get Jenny on the air, who checked in from 312, who said, I ended up giving birth to a baby Friday morning that I did not know I was pregnant with. That's my exciting weekend. And
That wins.
she called in, and we lost her, and then calling back goes to voicemail because she's probably still in the hospital and you have bad phone
You have
service.
the worst service. I was trying to post my baby when I was at the hospital. I'm like, no one, everyone's like, we haven't heard anything. There's no updates. I'm like, it's not going through. There's no Wi-Fi.
Case has something related to not being able to have phone service, going to Alpine Valley Saturday. So we've talked about this literally for probably 6 months. Case
That's right.
Stayed in the queue and bought great seats for Noah Khan, for him and his girl. By the way, Case has a girlfriend, if you don't know that.
Yep.
moving in with her today.
That's right. Big day.
Big day.
Big day. So he'd worked on this gift for her. You like Noah Khan, but she loves Noah Khan.
I love Noah Khan, too. I mean, I saw him last year at Lala with Brian Phillips, History of Alternative Brian Phillips, and we were like, man, we got to see this guy again next time he's in town. This is awesome. And my girlfriend hadn't seen him, and so this was going to be her first chance, and it was my second chance. And it was this whole big build-up. We were going to go to Alpine Valley. I bought the tickets, despite with, my position in life. Normally I can get into concerts I want to go to for free of charge.
Wow.
I bought tickets. I made sure we had nice seats. It was this whole journey.
And then, of course, Case had gotten hit up by people like, me, who's been to Alpine Valley a bunch of times. Anybody that's been there before, he's never been. And I said, well, it's a journey. It's a day trip. I mean, it's going to take you hours to get up and way hard to get out of there. He was getting nervous about that. That was the most you were nervous about going to the show, was leaving.
100%. Because as I explained Friday when we talked about this in the Weekend Q101, for 6 months when I tell people I'm going to Alpine Valley, nobody says, oh, have fun. Noah Khan's going to be great. That's going to be such a good time. Everybody has gone, oh, good luck getting out of there, which is not what you want to hear.
It's not fun.
When you've never been to a place before. It's very nerve-wracking.
But that's not what you were really worried about. What happened, and everybody knows if you went to the show or followed Q101.com over the weekend, is a storm came through. Not last night's storm, but Saturday night there was a huge storm up there in Wisconsin.
Boy, was there. So, we made great time getting there outside of a stop at Casey's General Store, in which I picked up their exclusive Mountain Dew flavor that's only sold at Casey's.
Wow.
We made great time up there.
What's the flavor?
It's called Overdrive. It's like a citrusy fruit punch flavor. Could not recommend it enough. It is phenomenal.
That sound good, Kenzie?
It's just the odds that it's called Overdrive when you had to drive all that way for no reason is kind of funny. Because boy, did you overdrive.
We get there. The parking system was simple enough. We found our spot. We're hanging out. We got to the venue, inside the venue, right when the gates opened for the lawn seating. So we watched probably 20,000 people all run down a giant ski hill all at one time.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's such a cool look for Alpine. You only get
Did you
there.
have lawn seats?
No.
Oh, wow. Don't say it like that.
I can't imagine ever, doing that. But the people.
What'd you say to me about the lawn seats? What's your? He said something to me. He said something to me about sitting in the lawn.
I said, if Jesus came back to Earth and was playing at Alpine Valley and I could only get lawn tickets, I probably just wouldn't go. I can't imagine ever sitting in the lawn for something.
You wouldn't sit in the lawn anywhere at any show?
I just can't imagine doing that.
What if it was Morrissey?
No, because Morrissey played Ravinia a few years ago, and you know what I did? I bought a seat.
Oh, yes. Not a lawn guy.
No.
Again,
You can bring a cheese basket, you see. It's very fun.
and again, he's at the bar high with Jesus. So Jesus, Morrissey,
Yeah. And so on and so forth.
Not gonna sit in the lawn.
No. So, the show's supposed to start at 8 p.m., and we're sitting in our seats, not on the lawn. We're sitting in our seats around 7:55, and I'm looking around. It's a beautiful night. I've had this great day with my girlfriend, Mackenzie, and I'm looking at stage. I'm going, something's off here. I've worked enough at these shows to know that something should be happening right now. There should be some sort of movement somewhere, people getting in places, people getting in position.
Pretty empty stage.
Empty stage, not a lot happening.
Nobody taping down wires.
And I'm just clocking it. I noted it. Okay, not a lot happening.
No drum tech going.
Yes.
No opener.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock comes on, and for a show like this, we're not on punk rock time. Everybody needs to hit their cues at a specific time, and when the opener is supposed to come out at 8 o'clock, and nothing happens at 8 o'clock, it's like, okay, something's happening here. This is a little odd. 8:05, somebody comes out, and again, there's not a cloud in the sky at this point, and he goes, we are in a severe weather delay. If you're in the lawn, you need to go back to your car. You need to evacuate the area. We will alert you when it is time to return safely to the lawn. Now, Alpine Valley kept on saying, check social media and check their local radio station for weather updates. The problem is that there is no cell service at Alpine Valley. And so, for reference, I got there at 4 p.m. on Saturday. I went into the Noah Khan show thinking the biggest news story of the weekend was that Richard Simmons had passed away.
Oh, my God.
I was in for a shock when I left. I couldn't believe what had happened.
Wow.
But we have this delay at 8:05. Half hour goes by. Now I start seeing clouds roll in. You feel that cold breeze like it's about to storm.
And by the way, you said Alpine Valley told everybody go back to your car, and no one left the lawn.
No.
It's 40,000 people. No one left the lawn.
No one left the lawn.
They were buying it. They're like, I don't think
There's
so.
no way. It's
Fake
beautiful night
news!
out.
Well, could you imagine when you have to fight for a seat for something, like when it's a run-in, almost Black Friday energy, you have to pay, and you actually get the seat you wanted. It's like, what? Lightning's not going to strike twice. I'm not going to get this. It could be the back. Under no circumstance are we moving.
Yeah.
This is just a ploy for someone else to get a better seat because they're not happy with the way this rolled out.
Yeah. So nobody moves. A half hour later, they come back out. And again, now it's starting to look pretty bad outside. It was a tough half hour. And they go, all right, we're monitoring severe rain, severe wind, lightning. There might be a tornado in the area. Like, it was everything they said was horrible. There was no good news. No, hey, we're going to get this show started. So I look at my girlfriend and I go, hey, we're not hearing a note of music. This is not happening. We're not seeing Noah Khan tonight. I will stay as long as you want to, but we should go.
We should get the hell out of here.
We should go.
You said that exactly right. You gave her your I'm your ride or die. But there's nothing happening
We
tonight.
should ride.
We ride at dawn.
Giddy up.
So she was bummed out, but I talked her into it. We go, we leave. The moment we get to the car, because it's a mile-long walk at least from the venue itself to the parking lot, the moment we get into the car, it starts pouring outside.
And now everyone's running.
No, not even, because they're so far away. We beat most of the crowd out there. Leaving the parking lot at Alpine Valley was super easy. The problem is that when you leave the parking lot, you get stuck at this four-way intersection where it's just a four-way, and there's no traffic guard, there's no anything. It's just cars and stop signs and man all fighting for themselves out there. And we got stuck in that line for probably 35, 40 minutes. And Kenzie, when I tell you, it started raining so hard, and we're underneath all these trees, and we're underneath the sign that says, "Welcome to Alpine Valley, thank you for coming." It was like in Jurassic Park.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
In the Humvee and the T-Rex attached for the first time. That's what it looked like outside. We were sitting ducks. The only thing Alpine Valley was missing was a giant T-Rex to attack us. That's how it felt.
That
Trying to get out of
would
there.
have sucked if you saw a T-Rex. Like, this night can't get any worse. I can't catch a break.
You saw the T-Rex going into the lot to eat everybody in the lawn. As you're leaving, you're like, whoa, good, we've dodged the bullet with that one.
I said, that's why I don't get lawn seats.
All I could imagine is you're already to your car, and you turn back, and everyone from the Alpine Valley itself is running.
Yeah.
And how it would just look like the scene of Game of Thrones, like a war is coming at you. Like, you would feel like you were under, like, siege.
Oh, you must have felt so smart.
Oh my God. It was great because all day yesterday I was just glued to my TikTok looking at videos of people that were stranded all day at Alpine Valley all night because I guess at some point they closed off the parking lot so you couldn't get in or out. So
what?
People were leaving that venue at 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't understand why they closed it off. I couldn't get an answer on that.
Do you think it flooded the drive path?
I'm sure it did. I mean, it was a total disaster.
And they were like, we cannot have cars stalling out. Just wait.
If you would have listened to us 4 hours ago, you could have got out of here.
You would have been in your car. But my question is, how did you still have a 35 to 40 minute wait when you were like the first people to leave?
There were people that I guess, were smarter than I was and got out even before them. But it doesn't matter because it's still the town of East Troy, Wisconsin is not built for that many people to be there all at once.
No.
So
Period.
any amount of traffic is a huge amount of traffic.
4 people leaving a restaurant at once, the whole thing.
It was not the night we planned. And I should note, it took us 2 hours to get home. The storm was on top of us the entire 2 hours. When we finally got cell service, I said, first of all, you're never going to believe what happened. News story we've got to talk about here in just a second. But also, I looked at the radar and I go, well, that's just going to follow us the entire way back to Logan Square. That is a bummer. And boy, did that storm follow us the entire way back to
Well,
Logan
it's a
Square.
nice, fun, safe drive.
Yeah.
After such a fun night.
It was a little nerve-wracking.
You escaped lightning, rain, and a T-Rex.
I
It
know.
was the most worthless road trip ever.
I went to Alpine Valley, and all I got was $16 nachos.
Okay, I have to be honest. It was a steal for chips and cheese.
Yes, nachos are pricey these days.
Well, it had brisket on it.
Oh, well, now you're doing something.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I saw that the show got canceled, which I don't want you to be mad at me, but kind of made me laugh a little bit. Because I knew you were
Hilarious.
stuck.
That's what I told my girlfriend. I go, there's something wrong with me where I go, oh my God, I have a story for Monday now. This is so funny.
This is funny. I went, case. But then I also thought, well, he could have come to the Renaissance Fair, and that made me mad. First thing I thought about. What a waste.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We just poured one out for some people that we like, Richard Simmons, Shannon Doherty, and Dr. Ruth. But now we got to pour one out for an event in Chicago that's no longer going to happen. And this is upsetting because somebody that works here, a guy named Sean works here, had already gotten approved to do this. Went through the whole process. You got to have to be interviewed and show your experience level, and he got approved. And another listener who knew what I was going to talk about here, Angela checked in from Round Lake, and she also got approved to be in the swim. So she was going to represent Round Lake.
A swim in Round Lake? What is this?
No, it's in the Chicago River. So remember we talked about that about 6 months ago, where there was going to be this huge swim in the Chicago River to benefit ALS. And they haven't done it in 50 years. And they were going to let, I think, 300 people. Maybe.
I remember it was limited because you're trying to figure out how to get in.
Because I wanted to get in for the good old-fashioned radio
and I
stunt.
actually knew somebody, so I'm like, I'm not going to do it, but I can get you in the river.
Yeah. And now it turns out, they applied for the permit June 13th for the swim, which was after they announced this swim in the Chicago River. And now the city has denied the permit for the open water swimming event, saying, safety concerns. Isn't that? A thing where 150 boats go up and down every day.
Well, that's why you don't swim in there. There's 150 boats going up and down. You don't want to be in the water when that happens.
Well, they would have blocked it off, but also there's a chance the water's not perfectly clean. Slight chance.
It's an interesting choice.
Well, it's funny because I talked to a guy who works here, Sean, who was going to be in it. He's a scholarship swimmer from Ohio State. And he told me, he asked a friend of his about that, saying, is the Chicago River, is it clean with all that stuff going on there? And he goes, you'd be fine swimming on the water, on top of it, or even a little bit below the water.
On top of it, what are you, Jesus?
At least swimming on the water or going a few feet under. But if you happen to go low enough to touch the bottom, that's where you'd probably...
Wouldn't that only be if you died? How deep is the Chicago River?
It's not as deep as you think. You could probably touch the bottom.
No, let me Google it.
I think you could get in there. I think you could get down there. Hold your breath, go down.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. How deep? 21 feet? You're not going 21 feet down.
You could go 21 feet down.
No, I can't.
You want to go try it right now?
You can't go, because then you got to go 21 feet back up to breathe. That's That's a round trip total of 42 feet without breathing.
Haven't you ever been one of those Olympic-sized pools and the deep end is 20 feet deep and you go down there, you throw a penny down there to go get it and come back up?
That's terrifying because I can't even, listen, I was in our neighborhood, community pool the other day, and I carry the baby in the pool.
Yeah.
And I can't go in the deep end. I can't go in the 5 foot because then I'm underwater. Then I only have my forehead out. And my husband kept going over there and I can't hold the baby and be over here. You don't understand.
Was it your ponytail just above the water? That was it.
I can't hold the baby, and I can hold him in the Lion King out and about, but I can't. I can just casually be over here.
Well, there's some we used to always do that, and eventually at some point you can't make it if you don't take the right enough breath. But I used to be able to go 20 feet down, so that you don't want to touch the bottom of the Chicago River. That's when you get probably bubonic plague instantly, and you probably just disintegrate before you make it to the top.
Well, do you ever see the videos on TikTok of the people that go magnet fishing in old rivers? Because that's what I want to do with the Chicago rivers. They throw a giant magnet down to the bottom of the water, and they pull out old safes and old guns and body parts and anything magnetic. That's what I want to do with the Chicago River, especially now because they're not going to be swimming in there.
I can't imagine what would come out of the bottom of the Chicago River.
I don't think if the swim's not getting approved, I don't think they'll let you go magnet fishing. I don't know what kind of license that is.
Well, we already know you need fishing licenses in Chicago.
That's right.
know.
It's a federal crime if you fish without a license, apparently.
I want to see you apply.
Prison forever.
I want to see you apply for a magnet fishing license.
I'm gonna raw dog it. I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna magnet fish, and hopefully I don't get sent to Guantanamo afterwards.
Is that still open?
It is.
Guantanamo
okay.
Bay? Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty popular. Unfortunately.
It's like a resort now.
Yeah, really popular. Do you guys remember the movie The Guardian? Never mind, I'm not going to case. Brian, do you remember the movie The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher?
Vaguely. I don't think I saw
Okay.
it, but I remember the trailer.
So it's a swimming movie.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Kevin
And it's
Costner's in it.
Yes. And it's based on like becoming, I forget, like where you jump out of helicopters and you save people, like a rescue
Yes.
swim movie. And I watched the movie when I was very young, okay? Like I was probably like 7. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. This looks badass.
Good Lord.
Okay, I was like, I want to do that. And there's a scene where he sits at the bottom of an Olympic pool and he holds his breath till his nose bleeds,
Yes.
like to prep for this.
Yep.
And I used to hold my breath and time it out with the movie to see if I could do it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't make it to him getting to the bottom of the pool to start his breath holding challenge with a breath. I'm like, well, we're there. And then he sat and did it. And I'm like, I'm out. Like, we got to go. Let's go up, bro. Like, let's make it.
Why? First off, it's
Yeah.
it's actually a really great movie.
It is really good.
Probably not a lot of people saw. It just
I
didn't seem like it was a big
and
movie.
Ashton Kutcher is actually very good in it.
Yeah.
It's a very serious role.
And Kevin Costner's great in it too.
Yes.
What? I'm very curious that you watching that made you think I want to do that.
Because
Which
I
is
was-
jump out of helicopters in the ocean
Yeah.
and save people's lives.
I thought that would be so awesome. It looked.
You just told me you can't go to the deep end at 5 feet.
Okay, but I was young and I thought I could improve. I thought I could get better. I obviously didn't get better, which is kind of a bummer.
That's a buzzkill.
But I thought that looked so cool. I was like, oh, I love like heights. So I was like, I'd love to jump out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
At the time, I really enjoyed like going to water parks and stuff. I was 7. I'm like, this is ideal. And then how badass to save a bunch of people. I didn't take into account that I wouldn't be capable of any of it.
Well, that's okay.
But
You got to dream big.
I thought it looked really cool.
Well, it is. I can't believe once you said it, I knew the movie, and it got very emotional.
I mean, them jumping out of these helicopters into these huge waves. Tell me what looked more badass than that.
Yeah. Well, walking into the deep end with 5 feet of water.
I know, I can't do
That's
it.
pretty badass.
Sucks.
Do you think you've gotten better at holding your breath now?
No, I'm really bad at holding my breath.
I want to know which of the three of us can hold their breath for the longest.
Do you want to time it?
Kinda, yeah.
Let's put a stopwatch on.
Wait, I mean live on the air right now?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do it live? I thought we would just take. Okay, you want me to
I'm
time
pretty
it?
good. I just came off
Are you
pneumonia.
good?
Just came off pneumonia, but
Don't hit me with excuses already. It's
I'm just
so annoying.
I'm just
We
telling-
haven't started.
I'm spitting facts.
We haven't started.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good, except just so you know, because I would have won. Okay, do you want me to time it right now? Or do you-
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Are we really gonna do this right now?
I think
Okay.
so, because I want listeners to guess who they
Okay.
think could win.
Yeah, who do they think could win? Who could hold their breath the longest?
Should we do that and then come back and let people gamble for like 5 or 6 minutes?
'Cause
And then
we can give away away an M. Night Shyamalan movie pass to somebody who guesses the correct winner.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. We still have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
you go see
fine.
the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Text in. Who do you think can hold their breath the longest?
I
Brian?
could be in the movie The Guardian.
No. Forget about that.
I want to be in the movie.
Okay, so it's either just text in Brian, Kenzie, or Case on who do you think can hold their breath the longest. And when we come back here, we're going to hold our breath and someone's going to die on the air.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Well, it's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and this is truly one of those deciding factors in the show to see who's the best. Now, we talked about the Chicago swim getting canceled on the Chicago River, and Kenzie brought up the movie The Guardian, which amazingly I've seen as well. It's a great movie about guys that the Coast Guard that dive into the ocean to save people, and she said she wanted to do that when she was a kid and saw the part of the movie where Kevin Costner, I believe it was, or was Ashton Kutcher
No,
there?
Ashton Kutcher sits at the bottom of one of those Olympic-sized swimming pools until his nose bleeds. That's
Holding
how
his
long.
breath.
And I was like 7, and I've never forgotten that scene. And I'm like, I could do that, and I can't. I do not have it in me.
Might be about to do that now. So Case brought up the proposal that we have these M. Night Shyamalan movie passes, and we'll all hold our breath and see who can hold the longest. And boy, a lot of texts on guessing who they think can hold the longest. Brian, Kenzie, or Case hold their breath. So
People, one person voted Brian because he'll cheat, which couldn't be a more accurate thing to say.
how could I cheat at holding breath?
You could just breathe through your nose, but I'm going to be able to tell. If I see a nostril flare, I'm going to throw my drink at your face if I think you're cheating.
My nostrils flare naturally. Just in.
That's what they say about
Yeah.
you. Hey, you seen Brian? Look at his
They're
nostrils
just flaring all over the place.
What did you tell us doctors said to you during the commercial break? We were going over the rules for the Hold Your Breath contest. What did you say?
I've been to a physical, and they do an air test of your lungs, and a doctor said to me once, "You have amazing lungs. You're gifted."
I honestly, you drive me insane.
These are just facts.
No doctor has ever pulled you aside to compliment your lungs.
It's 100% true.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I know we have doctors that listen. I guarantee no doctor has ever said that to a patient ever. Hey, man, I just got to say, your lungs are incredible.
Maybe
did
if
it.
they beat lung cancer and they're like, your lungs
Listen.
look amazing now.
I'm 6'4"1/4". I've never smoked, and that's what they are. They're long, healthy, lean
They're
lungs.
long.
Now listen.
Your lungs are long. You're packing a big old lung.
I want to verify I'm coming off pneumonia. And that
Okay.
attacks your lungs. I had an infection in my lung where we're competing with right now.
You cannot, in one breath, compliment your incredible lungs, and the other breath, give a reason why your lungs won't make it through this challenge.
That would be like us doing the 100-yard dash, and you had a boot on, and you said, like, don't worry about the boot. You know what
You
I mean?
don't have pneumia anymore. If
I
you
know.
current had pneumia,
I'll probably be in recovery for 6 or 7 more
Oh, my
years.
God.
Probably. This is like
I was gonna say weeks. You're just throwing years.
Pneumonia is a deadly disease.
this is like Kurt Schilling's bloody sock game for you. It's the same vibe.
It's the Jordan,
if
the
you-
Jordan flu game.
Brian has set it up that if he wins, it makes sense because he has the world's best lungs, according to his local doctor. And if he loses, it's not fair because he did have pneumonia once.
No, I had it recently. Just some weeks ago, I got through it. So you're exactly correct. I have a win-win situation here.
Oh my God.
So here's what we're going to do. By the way, I just took some deep breaths to warm up in that last commercial, and I got dizzy.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I am. I shouldn't be doing this.
Wow.
I shouldn't be competing.
Well, you're risking it all for the people. This
How
is
about
what
you
we do for
sit
you.
down? How about you just sit because I don't need your big old head knocking into the board and launching off socks.
So here's how we're going to do it.
You're gonna fall, you're gonna bloody ear.
I can't have it. I can't have it.
It's like when I fell over at Weber in the lobby the other day, and I had the 30-second fall hitting things.
It's so big. You're going to run into me if you fall down. You're just big. It's like a tree. Sit down.
All right, so here's how we're going to do it. A lot of people guessed on the text line. In case we'll give a random texter who chose whoever wins the tickets for the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. And then we'll all hold our breath at the same time. But through the honor system, no cheating.
Yeah.
We trust everybody right here.
Okay, I want to know how long you think you're going to be able to do it.
I think I can do it in a minute.
Really?
Yep, I think I can do a minute.
God, you do have big lungs.
If Brian can do a minute, I can do a minute 15.
Okay, I think I can
Oh.
do 12 seconds. You don't understand. I love air so much. I hate when I don't have it. It really bothers me.
Kenzie goes to air buffets on the
I
weekends.
love air. I breathe more than I sound like a little dog. I'm like I love breathing.
Since you can't tell who's out, so as soon as you're out, like you'll hear this big like, pff, we'll say our name. So if I go like pff, Brian, then I'm out. And then it's just Case and Kenzie competing.
Okay.
Do you hear that? If you're a thump,
Or
that's
you
me.
hear Brian die.
If it sounds like a Rottweiler's panting into the microphone, it's just Brian.
Oh my God.
All right, so here we go. And we're going to use, since we talked about the movie The Guardian, we'll use this deep introspective music as the under while we're holding our breaths.
The guy who voted for you said, "Can I change my vote?" Brian's starting to sound like a little bitch.
Hey, I'm just like laying it out there, as good champions do. I'd rather impress than disappoint, so I'm setting the stage.
There you go.
That's why I'm letting you know I won't be good at this. I skewed no one to vote for me. No one.
All right, so are we ready?
Okay. I can't look at you guys.
I know, I'm going to
Don't
start
look at
laughing
me.
too.
Don't
Hold
look
on.
at me.
Okay, I'm going to look down. Remember, say your name as soon as your breath's out.
Can we
so
get
we
like
know.
some music or something?
So here it is.
Is it be quiet the whole time?
Here's the music from that movie, The Guardian, about those guys that save lives in the ocean.
It's like what we're doing.
All right, guys, so you ready?
You want to count down from 3?
I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then hold your breath.
Well, you have to take a deep breath first.
Yeah.
Everyone get their chipmunk cheeks.
I'm like nervous.
I'm super nervous.
So much is on the line.
We're so competitive. This is
Because a lot of
stupid.
people voted for me regardless of what I said. They're all going to lose because of me.
All right, here we go.
Okay, go.
Here's the race. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay. So, oh, boy. Brian's turning purple. We are deep into this at this point. Brian's in a squat position, pounding the table. Kenzie looking confident. Brian's starting a shade on the other side.
You idiot! You idiot! You ruined it! That was a fault. This is not a fair competition. It's done.
I heard the same joke.
This doesn't. It wasn't about you. It doesn't count now.
But it makes it funnier that it's about you. I laugh at you way more than I laugh at me.
That's terrible. It is an invalid contest.
Did we time that or did we forget?
I got it.
What
it
was
was 52 seconds.
I lasted 52 seconds?
You did.
That's what he said. I can't believe it.
All right, Kenzie wins.
Oh my God.
That was BS.
Wow.
I don't like it.
That was like when Brock Lesnar used to fight in the UFC. He turned purple as soon as the fight started.
You were quivering, okay?
I told you the pneumonia. My lungs are 7 years. We do this again. See who wins.
What was that?
7 years until we do it again?
That's when my lungs will regenerate properly.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, Kenzie wins.
Wow. Okay, now we got to pick a winner.
I'll select somebody on the text line. I'll randomly select somebody who texted in Kenzie, and they will get M. Night Shyamalan passes. I feel dizzy, and I was out first.
What time?
He was
hit
on at 22 seconds.
22.
Yeah.
I guess a minute 15.
I know. I maybe would have made it. I just stopped because of you.
I think you should go jump out of a helicopter in Lake Michigan and try to save
I
somebody.
obviously could have lived out my dream, and I had no idea.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.